Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Ajanatimmirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistan Stapitan Jena Bhutale Swaya Kadam Bhajan Dvati Sampadantikan Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakalan Sri Guru Vaishnavansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Kopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tata Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishavanushtute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Papanambhyo Vaisnavabhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So vielen Dank, dass ich darf hier sein. Wegen der Warmherzigkeit von den Devotees. Ich darf hier sprechen. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Yes, that's true. It's the first time actually that I give a lecture in English because I usually do in German. So I'm so happy to be here and thank you very much for all the Vaishnavas that they allowed me to speak here. So we have today Bhagavatam, 11 tests. 12? 3:26, 11, okay. Yeah, 11. So, we read, Panchabir Brahma, Chaturbir Dasavittata, Eta Chaturbin Mantakyam, Ganam Pradhanikam Vidu, Panchabir Brahma, Chaturbir Dasivirtata, Eta Chaturbim Vimsatikam, Ganam Pradhanikam Vidu, Panchabir Brahma, Chaturbir Dasavittata, Eta Chaturbim Satikam, Ganam Pradhanikam Vidu, Panchabir Brahma, Chaturbir Dasavistata, Eta Chaturbim Santikam, Ganam Pradhanikam Vidu, Panchabir Brahma, Chaturbir Dasavistata, Panchabir Chaturbir Dasavistata, Ladies, Panchabir Brahma, Chaturbir Dasavistata, Eta Chaturbim Panchavi with the 5 gross elements. Panchavir, the 5 subtle elements. Brahman. Chaturbir, the 4 internal senses. Dasabi, the 5 senses for gathering knowledge and 5 organs of actions. Tata, in that way. Etat, this. Chaturbin Satikam, consisting of 24 elements. Ganam, aggregate. A, mit A, aggregate. Pratikam, comprising the pradhana, vidu. They now. So, the translation, the aggregate elements, namely the 5 gross elements, the 5 subtle elements, the 4 internal senses, the 5 senses for gathering knowledge, and the 5 outward organs of actions are known as the pradhana. Purport. According to Bhagavad Gita, the sum total of the 24 elements described herein is called the Yonir Mahabrahma. The sum total of all the living entities is impregnated into this Yonir Mahabrahma, and they are born in different forms, beginning from Brahma down to the insignificant end. In the Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic literature, the sum total of the 24 elements pradhana is also described as Yonir Maha Brahma. It is the source of the birth and substance of all living entities. So this, we find this in Bhagavad Gita also. It was 887, no? So yeah. The 5 great elements, false ego, intelligence, they manifested the 10 senses and the mind, the 5 senses objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, they aggregate the life symptoms and convictions. All these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. So this is almost the same. So we are speaking here about Kapila Dev, he is teaching his mother, the Bhuti, about knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and also how this material world was created with all the elements. This is very, very interesting because 3 days before, there was appearance of Lord Nrsingadeva, and that day my spiritual master, he celebrated his 25th anniversary of 50 years anniversary to be a sannyas. And he took sannyas when he was 25 years old. So, and in that day, many devotees, they make a film and to congratulate him about his 50th anniversary. In one devotee, he said a pastime with Srila Prabhupada that this has happened in New Dwarka. This is in Los Angeles. Srila Prabhupada was there, and the mother from my Guru Maharaj, she came to visit him, and Prabhupada was speaking to her. And Prabhupada said, your son is a very intelligent. And because of this, you had to start now taking knowledge from here, teaching from here, from him. So exactly like Kapila Dev instruct his mother, Devahuti. So this goes with this verse exactly. That was the first time that I heard this, because Prabhupada used to speak with many people, but they don't write these things. But that was something new for me. I found very interesting that Srila Prabhupada was speaking with the family, with the devotees sometimes. He also, Srila Prabhupada speak also with the father from my husband, from Bhajana Prabhu. And because the parents, they went to the temple to see why my children leave home and now they are with Srila Prabhupada. Why? So they are very curious, so they come to the temple. And they have a lot of mercy because they speak personally with Srila Prabhupada. So now here we can see that Kapila Dev give instructions to the mother, the Bhahuti, about the spiritual and also the material elements in this material world, how the creation, how begin, how Brahma make all these living entities in this world. The one thing what I was thinking is that it's very important, this family situation. Yesterday we were speaking how important is to follow the scripture. So we hear all the time that if you don't know many things, whatever you want to know, you just have to go to Guru Shastra and Sadhu. And here in the Shastra we find so many interesting things about what is our duty in this world. And so many of us, we are here because we start thinking one day why I am here, what is my duty, where I had to go after I die, and why I was born in this family, in this country, and so on. So family is very important in the Vedic culture. So they used to live together, and the old people take care of the young people, and when the people are old, also the family take care of them, so they are protected. And not only that, but we can see in the nature, for example, when you see the elephants, the elephants, they are always in group, and if they have a baby elephant, they go around him, and the baby is in the middle, and they protect this baby elephant that if the other animals come to try to eat him, so that's why they are protecting. And last time I was observing also how the birds, they take care of the babies, so where I live, we can observe there. And when they have a baby, they're all day long, they're running. So they flying back, and they come and they go and try to feed each other. So this is material nature is very strong, that everybody for us, we have our duty to do. And as human beings, we had our duty also to take care of our families. And during this pandemic, that everybody was inside and home, they were separate from so many people. We start thinking about it, how important it is to have a family. Where I live in Hamburg, and there is knowing this place that where the people live alone. So they live, men sleep alone, old people live alone, ladies live alone. This is the place where more the people more alone. And they really suffer so much in this time from the pandemic because they have no association. So because of this, it's very important if you have somebody to speak, at least to speak, to see every day and to say, hello, good morning. And so we realize actually how important it is to follow these instructions. And Srila Prabhupada gives so many knowledge, and some things Srila Prabhupada say, I cannot do this so much because Prabhupada died. He was not longer on this planet. But he said, the rest, I give you the more important knowledge. The rest, you have to do yourself. For example, like Varnashram Dharma, this is one thing that still we are looking for. And because from Varnashram Dharma come everything. Jobs, take care of children, old people, cows. The cows, they need protection. The children need protection. All people need protection. The ladies, they need protections because we are depending of others. I mean, the ladies, we are strong spiritually, but sometimes materially, because we had so much to do with our body, we have the feeling we need to have a husband in a society where we are protected. So in this world, we had to make arrangements how to protect the people who are weak. And this time, for example, I was thinking so much. Yesterday, we speak that in this planet, Earth, the human beings, they are in passion. So because in this planet, it's a middle planet. The Earth is a middle planet. So it's why we are in passion. In the higher planets, the people are in goodness. And in the low planets, the people are in ignorance. So in the lower planets, they have no even light, like sunshine. So we have here sunshine because we are in the middle planet. And we have half of the day, and half of the day is dark. So then we can see we are in the middle. So in this planet, the people are in passion. And because we are in passion, is why we have work. No, for example, war now. In the past, in the many, many years ago, and Bhagavad Gita even was a war. So why? Because the living entities here, they are in passion. So it's why they fight. If we will be like a demigods, we will have no interest to fight. And in this planet also, many people come here because they want to enjoy this. We want to enjoy this material world. That's why we are here. We want to touch the senses, the matter, the earth, and all these things what we have here. So it's why we come here. It's not for casualty that we are born in these planets, and because many times we ask the question, how is possible that there's too much fighting, countries with countries? How is possible? How come this that many years? But because of this, because we are in a middle planet. So people are in passion, but here they come in this earth, come people also from the lower planets and from higher. So sometimes we meet people who are very spiritually, but sometimes we find in this earth people who are very demoniac, It's like demons. So one thing what I learned the last time also is that we people, we have inside from us, we have half of us is like a demon, and half of us is like a demigod. That's why we pray to Nishingadeva, please Nishingadeva, kill this demon that I have in me. So usually we have our false ego saying, no, I am a very good person, but the people who kill other people, sometimes they say, I don't know what I was doing. So, because they lost the control in 1 minute. So they don't think before what I am doing. So after that, they say, oh, I really don't know how it's possible that I killed this person. So because we have this demonic tendency in us, but it's why we chant Hare Krishna and we follow principles, because in that way we stop this bad thinking, bad activities, and then we do service, devotional service for Krishna, and that way we can go more to this spiritual side from us that we have inside. So everything in this world have a significance. It's why we suffer sometimes, because in this material world we have also karma, action and reaction. And so when the devotees suffer, they had to think, maybe I was doing something wrong in my past life, but because Krishna is so merciful in this life, I suffer less. So, sometimes Krishna is very merciful, because one thing is, if you have the feeling in your life that you lost everything, you lost your family, you lost your money, you have nothing in this world, this is a special mercy from Krishna, because then you have no other choice, just to take shelter by Krishna. So many people, they lost everything because of different things, work, or maybe because so many things happen, because the temperature, sometimes too much water, too much heat, a lot of things, earthquakes, a lot of things happen in this world, and the people lost from one day to the next everything, even the family. So, but for these people, they had to think that Krishna is merciful, because anyway, we had to lose one day everything. We will lose our family, we will lose even our body, because this body is temporal. So we will leave the body, and then we had to start now thinking, I'm a spirit soul, I'm not this body. When I join in Krishna, when I come to the temple, I remember we used to speak all the time, we are not this body. Prabhupada say all the time, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. Because the people have too much identification with, oh, I'm German, I am Mexican, I'm Russian, I am from Canada, my body is beautiful, and things like this. So this is a very bad identification. We are too much attached to this body. I'm woman, I'm a man. Prabhupada says, you are not a man and you are not a woman. If you think you are a woman, you're a woman. If you think you're a man, you're a man. You are not both of these, you are just a spirit soul. This is what Prabhupada says. So we have to start thinking, because this problem is, oh, I am better than you, then start problems, the work and things like this. There's too much passion in this war. So what we learn here is if you have in your family a devotee, the whole family become also Krishna take care of the family. They say if you chant Hare Krishna, then your family will also have good vibration from you, and Krishna will take care of all your family. Because sometimes we worry so much, I leave my family, and what will happen with my family, my mother, my sister, my brothers, like this. But then if you chant Hare Krishna, then after the years you realize, they are okay. So Krishna is taking care of them. I don't have to worry. So anyway, Krishna is controlling everything, and we just have to follow our regular principles. And Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna, and then one day you will be free from this material world, because we are now completely in condition, First of all, to come to the spiritual world, there is many platforms, First of all, you have to get out of this body, the spirit soul had to get out of this body. Then the different atmospheres that we have up there, and there are different kinds. Some of them, they are very, very strong. And it's not easy to leave this material world and then to come to the spiritual world where we belong, because we belong to the spiritual world. So we learn here all these material elements, what we have in this material world. This is like learn why, in which situation we are, but the more important is how to get out of this atmosphere. You can, because our entity from the beginning is spiritual, so we can be in this planet and we serve Krishna with this body, and it's actually not so much different, because it's the same thing what we do in the spiritual world in here. So just follow, just doing, and with the time, Prabhupada said, when you are doing this, one day you will be spiritual even with this body. The only thing is that we have a short time in this life. So we don't live so many years, maybe 100 if somebody had good luck, 100 years. But you have to think what I do in these 100 years in my life. What can I do? For example, I see many devotees, they come to Krishna when they are older, when they are like after 30, and for them become very, very difficult to follow and to concentrate. So I come when I was 17, my husband came when he was 20, and this time is good to start Krishna consciousness. But I can see if you come after 30, and if you already are married and have children, and they are very entangled, for them it's very, very difficult sometimes to follow and to get this. Of course, only if they really try, they can really enjoy the spiritual life, but becomes difficult because they have to think about my job, my family, I had to pay this, I had to pay the other things. So the best is if we follow brahmachari, gihastra, pranaprastra, sannyas. So if we follow this order. So for the brahmacharis, they had to follow the rules and regulations. They had to serve the spiritual masters. This is the duty of a brahmachari. And the duty for the Gihastra is to work. This is in all ashrams, the only who work is a Gihastra. So when somebody wants to be married, say good luck, you have to find a job. Because Gihastra means you will have a wife and you have to have children and your griha, and this all costs money. So I know that many people, they say they want to be married. Many devotees, they say, I want to be married, I want to be married. They try astrology, they try all these things. But we recommend, before you be married, you have to start thinking how you will maintain your griha, your ashrama as Gihastra, because you need so much things, you know. So this is the life. This is the only ashrama where the people work. The other ashrams, they don't work. Sannyas doesn't work. Brahmachari doesn't work. And also Brahmaprasra doesn't work. So only Gihastras work. So if you want to come to be a Gihastra, please. This is for the men. They have to work. For the ladies, they had to know also how to cook at least. Because if you can cook, then this is a big thing, because then your husband is happy, the children are happy. And wife, they have to work so much also. And nowadays it's different, because the woman stay not at home. They also work and get money, and the children are in the school. So change many things, but from Vedic point of view, it's like this, that the Gihastra had to work. So we have to follow these things, how we can. Of course, can be that many things change in the future. We don't know how it will be, but this is the way it was in the before. And we can see here that Devahuti, she was alone, and the husband died, and then their son, he was taking care of her. And the Vedic civilization is like this, that also when their husband die or take sannyas or go away, then the older children had to take care of the mother. So that she is protected, the woman have to be, Prabhupada say, a lady is have to be always protected. First, from their father and mother when she is younger, and when she is maybe when she's in the time to be married, she had to be protected for the husband. And when she's older, from the children, especially from the older children. So a woman, it's not good to be alone. That is what Prabhupada also say here. And Prabhupada, he speaks so much about this. We always had to find in this book what Prabhupada said about different things, about ladies, children, brahmacharis, gihastras, sannyasis, the duty. So we can see that now, after 50 years Krishna consciousness, or after 70 years Krishna consciousness, when Prabhupada come here, so many things are developing. And we hope that in the future many things develop, but until now we really don't have, like a Varnashram. This is the way what we try to do. I mean, we try because we realize how important is what we read in these books. You know, now, because it's a war, Prabhupada used to say before, when you buy a place, temple, like here, you have to be sure that there's water around, because it's a war. When it's a war, then you have no electricity, no water. So, but if you have at least water, you can survive, you know. So that's why devotees, you see here is water around. Even the water that we use all the time come from the nature, from down. So we have to become very independent, and not to depend from the state, because when it's a work, then it's a big problem. So now we understand everything is very expensive. So before we come here, they say when you go to buy things in the store are very, very expensive now. And also everything what we need, clothes, everything, not only be expensive, but you will not find the things what you need sometimes, because this export is not going on because so many problems, the pandemic and work. So we are crossing a very bad time, and now we can realize how important it is to have these kinds of places. And also we have Goloka Dam. There is also a temple. There is also, if you go there, you can see the water come down. So clean water. This is, you can even drink because it's very clean. The devotees, when they buy places, they think in these things. What happens if suddenly we have no water and not electricity? And also, Prabhupada say, plant your own food. For example, here you can see they have a garden, winter garden, and the devotees, they have potatoes. They plant potatoes, and they have potatoes for a long time. So the devotees was doing this because of Prabhupada, because Prabhupada said this in the books. We have to be, because the war will come, one, we don't know, or sickness, whatever. So, but we have to be prepared for this, because many people, Prabhupada used to say, they will take shelter in these communities, like here. And we can see now, we have many devotees from Ukraine and all Germany. And if we will have not a temple like this, we cannot help others. But because we have some temples, they come. So after this, tomorrow, my husband and me, we go to a temple. This near to Hanover. And there is, I hear 90 devotees from Ukraine, 90. So we don't know what is expecting to us. We will be there, and we are so happy. They have also a big community, and the devotees take shelter there. So in Hamburg, we have a small temple, not very big, but we have a room downstairs in our temple, and we were always thinking how it's possible we had to pay so much money for this room. Nobody used this room, and now we have 10 devotees from Ukraine, and then we say, now it's okay, then it's good because now we can use this room, So we are so happy that that other devotees are living now there in this temple. Yeah, so Ashley, we started speaking about something, and I speak many things. But if you have some questions, I don't know, or commentaries about what we speak. Everything is okay. Again, the verse again. Okay. I need the glasses. The aggregated elements, namely the 5 gross elements, the 5 subtle elements, the 4 internal senses, the 5 senses for gathering knowledge, and the 5 outward organs of actions are known as the pradhana. This, yeah, we speak, yeah.
Thank you, Coram, for a class. This is mentioned four internal senses, so I would like to just check what they are for internal senses.
I was checking in the next verse. Next verse also they say there are 5 gross elements, namely earth, water, fire, earth, and ether. So that we have inside. There are also 5 subtle elements: smell, taste, color, touch, and sound. This is in the next verse. So, but at least you know, we also, when we make artik, when we do puja, we offer this element to Krishna. We offer earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So, for example, the air, the shamada, then we offer water, we offer fire, and then we offer, these things we offer. Oh, and the smell, the flower. So we offer these elements also to Krishna, because these elements we also have in our body. We have heater, we have in our stomach. When we eat, we digest with this fire that we have inside the stomach. So
my question was about the four elements what they mentioned, and I guess they are mind, intelligence, and false ego.
Yeah.
And I don't know what is fourth.
The aggregate of the subtle aggregate of the 3 modes of material nature.
Can you explain what is what this means? This fourth.
I think now it's time to read this purport in Bhagavad Gita, what is 13:6.
3,
There everything is 13, chapter 13, verse 6. There everything is listed.
6, okay. Yeah, here. The 5 great elements: false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses and the mind, the 5 senses objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms, and convictions. All these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions.
Now read the purport.
Okay. Purport. From all the authoritative statements of the great sage, the Vedic hymns, and the aphorism on the Vedic Sutra, the components of this work can be understood as follows. First, there are air, water, fire, air, and ether. There are the 5 great elements, Mahabhuta. Then there are false ego, intelligence, and the unmanifest stage of the 3 modes of nature. Then there are 5 senses of acquiring knowledge: the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Then 5 working senses: voice, legs, hand, anus, and genital. Then about the senses, there is the mind, which is within and which can be called the senses within. Therefore, including the mind, there are 11 senses altogether. Then there are the 5 objects of the senses: smell, taste, form, touch, and sound. Now, the aggregate of these 24 elements is called the field of activity. If one make an analytical study of the 24 subjects, then he can very well understand the field of activity. Then there are desire, hatred, happiness, and distress, which are interactions, representations of the 5 great elements of the gross body. The living symptoms represented by consciousness and convictions are the manifestation of the suitable body, mind, ego, and intelligence. These subtle elements are included within the field of activities. The 5 great elements are as gross representation of the false ego, which in the turn represents the primal stage of false ego, technically called the materialistic conception or tamsa buddhi, intelligence and ignorance. This further represents the unmanifest stage of the 3 modes of material nature. The unmanifested mood of material nature are called pradama. One who desires to know the 24 elements in detail along with these interactions shall study the philosophy in more detail. In the Bhagavad Gita, a summary only is given. The body is the representation of all these factors, and there are change of the body, which are 6 in number. The body is born, it's growing, it's stay and produce byproducts. Then it begins to decay. And the last stage it vanishes. Therefore, the field is non-permanent material things. However, the Kshetra Yajna, the knower of the field, is proprietor is different. Yeah.
That is the unmanifest aggregate of the 3 modes of nature. What is it called? Could you read that again?
What do you mean?
That's what's somewhere on the beginning.
In the beginning. So I read again the beginning?
No, not everything.
The 5 working senses?
Unmanifested stage of the 3 modes of nature.
Then there are force, ego, intelligence, and the unmanifested stage of the 3 modes of nature.
Okay, the unmanifested stage of the 3 modes of material nature.
So that means practically what? That we each, everything what is exists in material universe has this element in that is pradhan, kind of sounds or existence.
Yeah. Yeah, from the beginning, yeah. Yeah.
Is every time more subtle. We have mind.
Yes, please.
Microphone.
Okay. We have earth, which is gross, water, which is a little bit finer. Then we have fire, which is even finer. Then we have air. Then we have ether, or space, which is even subtler. Then we come to this, those are all the gross material elements called gross. Then we come to the subtle material elements. They are mind, intelligence, false ego, and the unmanifested stage of the 3 modes of nature. And they're also called the sense within. Like we have the sense organs, but all the central impressions are gathered in the mind. Intelligence and false ego. And the mind intelligence, they work with the central impressions. Mind makes plans, intelligence helps, all that. So there's mind, which is first subtle, then intelligence. Intelligence is finer than the mind, because it can control the mind, and it's more subtle than the mind. Then we have false ego. Many people even don't know it's false ego. It is that subtle. Like people think, I am intelligent, or I am stupid, or I am German, Croatian, Mexican, American, whatever. You know, I'm man, I'm woman. This is false ego. Many people don't even know. They are not conscious of it. Then even subtler is the unmanifested stage of three modes of nature, because all this is working under the three modes of nature. But it's unmanifest, so because it's so subtle. The three modes of nature, when they become manifest, for example, tamaguna, then you sleep. Then the mode of tamaguna is manifest. And when the mode of passion is manifest, then you work hard. The mode of goodness, sattva guna, is manifest, then you study scripture, for example, or you get up early in the morning. But it's unmanifest. That means it's only a possibility. But the possibility will manifest through the other elements.
So it gets kind of means that there is something above of our false identification, like false ego. It rules in any field of our life, existence actually. So there is something even more subtle, what is rule us even more than false ego, that we do not.
Yes.
Can you understand what I mean?
Yes, yes. And many times this fourth sense within, or the unmanifested stage of the three modes of nature, is not mentioned. Often it's not mentioned. We just speak of the three modes of nature, but it is rarely mentioned. That's why we are not used to this expression so much.
So how we consider we are really conditions, living entities, because we are depending of all these things. And the demigods, they say they control us, they control also the nature, and the body control us also, because we are not this body, but because the body needs like sleep, eat, all these things. So we had to serve our body, and they are completely in condition, So it's why they say it's very difficult to leave the body, because we had to leave everything, and we are spiritual. So to go to again back to the spiritual, it's not easy. It's why we had to start following these rules and regulation and follow the programs to be more fine to perceive the spirituality. Yeah. Good. So then everything is clear now. So if it's not clear, then you will read tomorrow again, and after tomorrow the same thing, and you can also Bhagavad Gita, and because it's a little bit complicated, all these things, but it's good to know. I mean, I remember when I went to the church when I was a small girl, and the priests in the church, they speak, and I don't understand anything, I said, what is going on here? Every time I come, they speak something different. But in our religion here, we have these Vedas, And in the beginning, maybe we come to Krishna because of the prasadam, because of the music. But after the years, we realize how important it is to have these Vedic books, what Srila Prabhupada gave to us. So it's like a treasure, this knowledge what we have. Yeah, you want to?
You mentioned that the material world is in between, and there is a higher world like heaven,
Yeah.
and a lower world, a demonic world.
There are three worlds. They say there is three worlds. Down, the planets are down. The living entities who live in these planets.
So can you say the souls gather in the middle from both?
We are in the middle.
There are the demonic words described in the Vedas.
The demonic, lower planets.
Are they described there, how they are?
Yeah, they are not, they have almost no chance to become Krishna consciousness in the lower planets, and they are not so nice. I mean, we are, you can see, we people, we are not so beautiful, but we are not also too bad. Yeah, they have other forms than we.
Described that the subterranean heavens are also described in the third canto later by Lord Kapil. And since they are so far away from the sun, there's no sunlight, and the living entities there, they are snakes, naga snakes, and they have jewels. That is there is the light coming from the jewels.
But that is only one of the words.
The subterranean heavens, it says. Then you go further down, the bottom of the universe, there are the hellish planets. Hellish planets. Planets of punishment. Planets of torture. The more you go down, the shorter the time gets. Like what is perceived 1 year on the hellish planet is only, say, a day on Earth. People go after death, if they have been sinful, they go down to the hellish planets and suffer there, and to them it's very long time. But it's only very short. And then they come back to the Earth to take a human body or animal body.
Yeah. So in this planet Air, they have the chance. We have the chance, living entities, to go down or to go up. So we are in the middle. So if we practice a spiritual life, then we go up there. But if we do bad things, then we go down.
Yeah, but isn't the point? We don't want to go up or down. We want to go in the place that is neither.
Yeah, but then we have to be qualified. No? We cannot go to higher only from thinking. We have to practice also. Follow is what we follow, rules and regulations. And also the scripture. We have to qualify ourselves. For example, if you want to be a doctor, you have to learn. You cannot say, oh, I am a doctor now. Or I decided to be a doctor and I am a doctor. No. So you have to learn. And then for Bhakti Yoga, temples, everything what we have here is that we practice, that we prepare to go to a higher, not only to the heavenly planets, where is the people enjoy, but to go back to home, back to Krishna, to the spiritual world. That this is the most higher place that we can go, where you know how to suffer, where you don't have a body, material body, but you have a spiritual body. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I think everything is okay. Yeah. Then we make. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yeah.